What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the All In Podcast, a podcast for casual leaguers. I am the League Dad, and I'm joined today by Nighthawk and the man himself, the Lux Lover, Style out of 123. Guys, what are you guys up to? We are doing another patch notes rundown for League of Legends this time. So we talked to Nighthawk not too long ago, but Nighthawk, how is your League games going? We found out about TFT, but how are your League games going lately? You still abusing the Jax with his buff?
Yeah, he's still really good right now.
Nice.
He gets a little bit of hate on Reddit right now. I think it's mostly because of Spear Surgeon. But
oh gosh,
yeah,
yes.
he's really good. So
okay, well, I need you to be on my team because all of the Jaxes I have played with have not been good, or they're just getting abused really easily by hard matchups. So, well, I mean, I believe you. I think I have seen him at least on YouTube being pretty strong. So
he does take a little bit of getting used to.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Style, it's been a while, man. How are your games? I know me and you guys don't know this, but off stream, Style challenged the role of support. So if you're a support main out there, you might have a bone to pick with Style. He said, basically, if you make it to plat as support, it's not really making it to plat because it's support. So he took me up on the show.
I said it can't be that hard to get to plat.
So if you're support main and you're at least plat, and if you have a bone to pick with Style, feel free to let him know. But anyways, we're kind of doing this thing where we're both kind of trying to see who gets to plat first, playing support. Anyways, how's your games going, man? Let us know what's up with you in the Rift.
Good.
Pretty good?
I'm hyped about, what is it? Star Guardian skins. They just came out.
Yeah, Star Guardian skins. I mean, okay, so, well, let's just transition it, right? Since you brought it up, those are the newest skins coming out. Star Guardian Rakan, Xayah, Zoe, and Nico, including her Prestige Edition, will be available on September 12th. The recording is, we're doing this on the 12th, so it should be out by the time you're listening to this. What are your first impressions? Style, you said you like them. Do you like all of them, or is there a particular one you like?
I mean, I like all of them, but I'm not going to get all of them.
All right. Well, which one then would you have to narrow it down to?
I mean, I'm gonna get the. I have
Xayah.
my 2,500 tokens, so I'll get my Prestige Nico, and then I'll get my Xayah.
Okay. Nico and Xayah. Speaking of Nico, I've been playing her as support lately with Glacial Augment. It looks good on paper. When I execute it, it's terrible. So I'll have to make those two things work. But maybe
it goes really well with Tristana.
Okay.
And like any other all-in AD carries, because the thing about Nika's support is you have a 3-second root on your E that goes through minions.
Yes.
So it's really just that's basically all you have early game. So it's really just, can you put somebody in one spot long enough for Tristana to jump on them and kill them?
Exactly. And so far, my skills on Nico are very terrible, but now with the skin out, all the more reason to spam her, right? I mean, just for the skin. Yeah. So it is a pretty good looking skin. You got any favorites, Nighthawk, out of this Star Guardian line?
I'm not a huge fan of Star Guardian. I think the design one looks pretty cool.
That's
the colors.
That's illegal. Star Guardian is the best skin line Riot has released.
I don't know about that. I have to agree kind of more with Nighthawk here. I'm not a fan of all the Star Guardian. I think some of them are nice. But we'll see. On the horizon, though, I heard there's a new Nami skin coming out, which
Nami and Morgana.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
based
about.
off some kids show.
What? What? Did you say?
Yeah, it's
show?
actually based. It's based off some kids show. I don't remember the name of the show.
It's Nami, but in her back she has feet now, so everyone's freaking out about that.
Word. The thing is, I looked at it on skin spotlights on YouTube. Like, I'm not a fan. It's not gonna be my favorite skin. I'm still gonna get it because it's Nami. But I do like some of the new animations. They look pretty cool. I guess that's reason enough to get her. Anyways, I have all the skins. Why break the streak?
It's getting to the point with Nami and support skins that they all kind of look alike to me, honestly.
You're
I feel like they just made the same support skin like 8 times. Like, it looks exactly like the Janna skin. It looks exactly like the, I don't know.
It does look like the Janna skin. You're right. Ugh. In fact, I was playing Janna. No. Yeah, I was playing Janna, and someone came on stream and was like, "Oh, is that the Nami skin?" I was playing Star Guardian Janna, and they were like, "I was like, I didn't even know there was a Nami skin at that time." And then they filled me in, and I looked at it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I can see how that looks kind of similar." So, anyways, those are the new skins. Let us know what you think, if you like them or not. Let us know your thoughts. The All In Podcast, LOL@gmail.com, or tweet us at the All In Podcast. But enough about skins. Let's get into today's topic of the day, patch 9.18. So we're getting near the end of the line. The next patch 9.19 will be the patch that Worlds is played on. So people starting to get acclimated. Riot says they don't want to shake the boat too much so that pros can kind of get settled in on what's happening. So more or less doesn't look like there's huge changes, but was there anything that stuck out to you guys that you want to talk about first? Anything that you think might be game changing?
Yeah, this is a huge patch for Aatrox. I think this is probably enough to maybe take him out of every single pro game ever.
Okay.
I don't know if he's dead now, but I think he's a lot weaker.
I will say that I've seen people in my solo queue games playing Aatrox and Akali, which we'll get to in a bit, but I'm just like, they nerfed him a little bit, right? And they're like, so what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't play him. I'm just saying at least read the patch notes so that you know what's happening. And they come to find out that he's a lot different. So Nighthawk, can you take us through the Aatrox changes? Let us know what's happening here.
Sure. So they changed his passive. It used to heal for bonus physical damage dealt to anything. Now it heals for 25% of the damage dealt when stabbing a minion. So I think this means that you can't heal off of champions or monsters anymore.
Wow.
Which is no. I misread it. Healing versus other targets unchanged. So attacking minions is going to be a lot less sustained than it used to be.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which cuts his healing a lot because you don't attack monsters or champions nearly as much as you do minions in lane. And then also his Q damage to minions went from 50% to 100% to 40% at all levels.
Oof,
so his early game clear got nerfed slightly, and his late game clear got nerfed ridiculously. So nerf to split push, nerf to sustain, and then nerf to early game laning. So a lot of big nerfs to Aatrox.
Definitely big nerfs here. And I'm not an Aatrox player at all, but I do know that he's strong. And the healing is definitely one of those aspects that I see a lot. Style, what do you think about these changes? Do you agree with Nighthawk that it might take him out of pro play, especially for Worlds? I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, I hope it does. I hate watching Aatrox.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it does feel like pro has just been Aatrox, Akali, Aurelia for the past Silas.
It's interesting though because like you said, pretty much the whole season it's been Aatrox. They've been slowly whittling him down. And it'll be interesting that people have been practicing him and playing him in so many of their comps that they do this right before Worlds that I think this is huge. I don't know what it does. I mean, they may be good enough to just be like, all right, well, we throw that out the window. Let's move to something else. But at the same time, it's kind of a last minute change in preparation for Worlds. So we'll have to see what that does. But all you Aatrox players out there, let us know how you're feeling right now. All right, let's move on to the next big one, I think, is Akali, right? Akali's been one of those champions as well that's been tough to balance, I think, especially after the rework. There's so many good things about her. Again, she's one of those high skill cap champs, so you have to be decently good with her to take advantage of her. And when you are, she is pretty OP. But she's gotten some nerfs, and I'll ask you guys in a second. Let me just read it down first. But her R cooldown has increased early. Her R1 stun is removed. I know that was actually a complaint, so they removed the R1 stun. And the R2 base damage, the maximum damage has decreased early. So they're trying to change Akali's. Riot is specifically saying they want to affect her pro presence and specifically limiting her power before her level 11 spike. So her R perfect execution, like I said, R1 stun is gone. The R2 maximum damage was 255, scaling to 645 plus 0.9 ability power. It's now 195, scaling to 645 plus 0.9 ability power. So it's just weaker early on. Still going to be good later in the game. And then the cooldown was 120, scaling down to 100. Now it's 160, scaling down to 100. So that's 40 seconds longer. It's huge.
40 seconds longer at level 1, and you're losing 60 damage on your ult. I don't know. I don't play Akali, but I do think that I think that level 6, she might not be able to one-shot squishy laners anymore. Like any mid laner that she's playing against, I don't think she can quite get there. At least it will take a little longer.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's what it is. I think they don't mind her being good later, right? Obviously, they're keeping the power up late. But is it going to be worth it sacrificing that long of an early game? You got any thoughts on that
really
style?
cooldown is so long.
It's long, 40 seconds. That's huge.
I mean, everyone's been complaining about Akali. She's like really good in pro play. She's really good in solo queue. She's just an all-round bust champ.
Yeah.
And the fact that she has so many escapes as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think her utility is just so freaking good. I know people have been kind of trying to make suggestions, as to how they can get around that. But you're right. She has basically 2 dashes. She has her shroud. They've tried to nerf different aspects of what people have complained about. Right. First the healing on the Q, then her shroud. Now it's her R that people are complaining about because of her mobility. So there's a lot of stuff, and I think with this kind of champ again, it's gonna be tough. I think for Riot to balance around. Is there anything that you guys can think off the top of your head? I know this could be a deep rabbit hole that we go down, but just, is there any idea of like what you think would make Akali more balanced? If there was one thing you could change, do you have any suggestions?
Maybe nerf the cooldown on her Q, or like change how it works a little bit. The Q is really like the thing that makes her, like, I know all the parts of her kit are powerful, but the Q gives her wave clear. It gives her a lot of damage. It gives her healing when she gets the gunblade. So it really just is every single part of her kit that's powerful.
Yeah.
And maybe you go back to like a single target Q like it was originally on Akali, but I don't know. Akali feels like a failed project to me. Like,
Bring back old Akali. I want old Akali back.
I mean,
I think old Akali.
I feel like I'm.
As well.
I like.
Yeah, that. I feel like I'm echoing some mean Redditors, but I feel like Akali is just like look at where she came out when she first got reworked to where she is now. They've taken out so many parts of her kit, like you said. They've nerfed her almost every single patch for a year.
Yep.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like this is a champion that can be good.
And I'm wondering if she's going to happen to just be like the Rise effect, right? Like where, she's really good in pro play, but then she sucks in solo queue unless you're an Akali god, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be really tough.
That's exactly right.
Which is a shame
because
I love Akali. I've always been an Akali player with old Akali. The rework, I played her for a little bit. And yeah, I just think there's a lot of things that are too hard to balance around. I think somebody suggested on the Akali mains page that the R be like kind of like there's no R2 unless you hit R1 kind of thing, making R1 like a targeted ability. Because I feel like they just said, you get 2 dashes for free. And so they're saying like maybe make it so that if you don't hit the first one, you don't get the second dash. So it makes her more vulnerable. But I don't play Akali too much, so I wouldn't know. Style, do you got any suggestions?
Even just like increase the cooldown of the second R.
That's true. And in between.
Yeah, but not just like increase it, but increase it by like a lot, maybe like 10 seconds ish.
Yep.
10 to 15, I would say, and then
Good point. We'll have to see.
Or just make it charges like it was before. Like you can save some charges.
I love that, but
then how would you balance the execution thing you get on the second one?
Exactly. Yep.
You'd have to put execution on them both, unless you take out the execution completely and just give her 3 stacks overall like they did before.
That was my favorite part before, just having those 3 stacks.
Yeah, it did feel cool.
But I don't know.
What is it? The thing I didn't like about old Akali is that her dash was like a point and click. I think if they leave it as like
that's my kind of champion, baby.
But make her a skill shot.
Yeah,
thing.
Skill shot. Yeah. Then
I mean, I'm not gonna complain about them gutting assassins.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't know. Like I do think again I still think she'll be good in pro. People know how to play around stuff like that. Like, okay, weaker early game, they'll play safer, and they still know how to work around her power spikes and her skill cap. So I don't think, maybe she doesn't get played as much in pro, but I think she may still be viable just playing it differently. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But definitely a nerf for sure, especially for us plebs in solo queue. All right, let's move on to Annie. I actually like this change. So Annie, her E now grants decaying movement speed, damage reduction has been decreased, and her cooldown has been increased. So in that respect, it's gotten nerfed. But I like that decaying movement speed. What do you guys think about that? More engaged, Annie, right?
Yeah, I
Report
really like this.
Annie?
I think this is exactly what Annie needed.
Yeah.
You see a lot of like meme builds with Annie where she goes Predator.
Yeah.
And Rocket Belt is a pretty standard item on Annie now.
Yep.
And those, like, the reason you take those things is because any amount of movement speed and any amount of gap closure
Any
is really, really
amount of
powerful.
movement speed.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
amount of movement
Any
speed.
amount of movement. Good one, Style.
He just got it.
He just got it. Nailed it.
It's really goes to show, like, because Annie is obviously the original burst champion.
Yeah.
She's the champion where if you got into range and she had flash tibbers, she was going to kill you.
Yeah.
And obviously League of Legends has evolved so ridiculously hard since Annie came out.
Yep.
But she's still powerful, and I think giving her this bonus move speed, because that's it's something like 42 move speed, 43 move speed.
Yeah.
At level 18, which is a pretty big deal.
That's pretty good.
And it pairs very well with Rocket Belt and with Flash and with everything else.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, nobody was really using her E for damage
But the
reduction
damage
that
mitigation,
often.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think also too, I used to play Annie a little bit because, you know, those point and click champions, that's what I'm all about. And, you know, one thing you would commonly do is that you would hold your E until you had like, what is it? You need 4 stacks, right, for the stun?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So you would, if you had 2, you would hold your E so they couldn't, you know, it would catch them by surprise. Then you'd hit E and then engage with the stun just so it catches them off guard. Yeah.
That worked a lot better before they put the thing under your bar.
The thing, yeah, I know. I still do it out of habit, but I think this even more so is kind of cool because, you know, again, if that's how you normally play, you know, it gives you more of an engage tool, right? So if you have 2 of the stacks, hit E to get that movement speed. Now you're at 3, and then you can stun on your 4th with whatever.
Yeah,
you
you're right. This doesn't require really any relearning.
No relearning.
Yeah.
I just think it's nice if you're an Annie player and that's how you play. It kind of makes it even better. Like you said, the damage mitigation, yes, you lose some of that, but again, I sometimes like I don't even know that's, you know, really what it was purposed for. I think the movement speed is much more intuitive to her kit, so I'm excited to see that. Style, are you Annie? Do you not like Annie either? She's not an E girl.
Yeah,
she's a
Tank Annie. Tank Annie is gone now.
Yeah, Tank Annie. That
I
tank
know
Annie where you
John-
press E and you
John
take
used
0
to
damage.
play. Yeah, John used to bring Font of Life, and you know how every time
gosh.
he used to heal. So he would play Tank Annie support where you healed with your stun.
I love it. I mean, I love
Sounds
stuff
awful.
like that, but yeah, it sounds awful. But you know what? I am interested
It
to
was actually
try.
pretty good.
I'm actually interested to try Annie support again, just because of this. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's probably terrible.
Yeah, but no more Tank Annie, so what's the point?
No
I'm
more
interested
I know.
to try mid Annie. I think mid Annie might be really good at this.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll have to scout out some Annie.
My Shurelius Annie will come back. My
Shurelius?
Shurelius Righteous Glory Annie.
No, I think that's,
Righteous Glory.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And Predator. All right, Predator, Shurelius,
Exactly.
Righteous Glory,
No
and
counterplay.
And E.
No
There you
counterplay until you press R and don't kill anyone.
You get Ingenious Hunter for the decrease on your active items.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm loving it. I'm loving all the things we're coming up. Guys, go try it out and let us know how it goes. But if you played in ranked and lose, don't come blaming us. You did that on yourself. All right, let's move on to Asol. So Asol got that mini rework. I guess it's a rework basically, but they've upped her base health. So they moved it from 510 to 575.
Holy shit.
Hey.
That's crazy.
That's
I mean,
huge.
I thought Asol was already, I don't know why she needed more. I mean, again, I don't know, but I thought Asol was good with the rework. I don't know why they needed to buff her health. Maybe, I don't know. Have y'all noticed anything? I mean, have you seen her a lot?
I mean, I
haven't
played a
seen
game
her
of Asol, and I went like 2-12, but I won the game, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. As long as you win the game. And I mean, I don't know. Like,
I think he's good. I think he just needs a little bit of love.
I also think, like, in my pleb elo, I just don't think people play. Asol's a hard champion to play, man.
Yeah, but if you power int and you win, is it really inting?
That's correct. I don't know.
He's right.
He is correct about that. I will say that the few times I have encountered, he's still roaming a lot. So I guess I don't know if that's how he's supposed to be played still. It seems like he can. He has the tools for it still. But either way, I don't know too much. So I'm not going to speak too much on it just because, like I said, not a lot of people play it in my low elo. So let's move on to Caitlyn. Oh man, I don't understand this change.
Caitlyn.
Style, let me let you take this one. You talk about Caitlyn. What's happening here?
Do you guys remember when I was talking about the +5 on S3 for AD?
We remember.
And then +2, they increased her out by they increased her attack damage by +2 then. So that's 7 AD. Now it's like another 2 AD. That's basically 10 AD.
It's a longsword.
I don't understand this buff. She's strong already. What the heck?
You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just don't understand how Jinx has gone so many patches without getting.
I know.
That's
just
what
nerf
I'm
Jinx.
saying. Nerf
I want Jinx nerfed, and I play Jinx every game.
Oh my
god. Honestly, I don't think she's like egregiously OP. I think she's just strong enough to where there's no reason not to play her every game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I mean, still, Caitlyn. There have been very few games where I've had a Caitlyn, either my team or the other team, without it being strong.
The Caitlyn buff is sort of like, I wouldn't say a Jinx nerf, but it does put pressure on Jinx.
Sure,
because
definitely.
Caitlyn does very well against Jinx.
Good point.
And you can see all these champions, they're slowly buffing a bunch of other champions that aren't Jinx, right? And all these champions do really well against Jinx. They buffed Lucian, they buffed Caitlyn, they buffed Jhin. All of these lane very well against Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So the only nerf I didn't get was the Kai. I mean, I get why they why they nerfed Kai'Sa, but at the same time, they can't really. So Kai'Sa's in a really good spot. I would say in a better spot than Jinx, but Kai'Sa also does well against Jinx.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she does amazingly well, but she scales just as well. In a 1v1, Jinx would lose, but in a team fight, Jinx can still kill their whole team.
Yeah.
But I think if you go AP Kai'Sa, you can basically stack your whole tier without any trouble against Jinx. But I think even though they're not touching Jinx yet, they're at least giving more answers to Jinx because they even buffed Jinx, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, and let's go to that. So Kai'Sa, let's talk about the ADC since we're there. Let's talk about all the ADC changes. So Kai'Sa,
a lot of ADC buffs as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think Misfortune got buffed, her E got buffed, and that's a huge bullying tool. Yeah. If you look at all the champions that got buffed, it's champs that do well early. Caitlyn does well early.
Yeah.
Jhin does well early. MF with Arcane Comet and Emax does well early.
Yeah, and on the flip side with Kai'Sa, kind of the scaling champ, they've actually nerfed her E in later stages of the game. So her E supercharge bonus attack speed was 40 scaling to 80%. Now it's 40 scaling to 60%. So it's much less. So I don't know what if they're trying to increase more of the early game. What do you think about that, Nighthawk?
I really don't think that matters at all.
You don't think so? Okay.
The only time that this maybe matters is when you're taking a tower.
Okay.
Because that's really the only time you're making use of having max attack speed. Kai'Sa already builds so much attack speed. She gets Rage Blade, she gets an Asher's Tooth. So by the time you get to this point,
it's negligent.
20% is nothing.
Okay.
And on top of that, most of the time you're not making use of having full attack speed anyway.
True.
Because you have to kite, so you're you're never going to be able to kite perfectly. So.
That's what you think. When I play ADC, I stand there.
The one thing it does affect is how the passive on her E works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is every time she attacks, her cooldown gets reduced by 1, I believe. Every time she has E and attacks. So I guess that I wouldn't say it's a huge nerf, but I guess it does affect to a certain extent.
It's also a nerf against taking objectives too.
But I don't think it will in the grand scheme of things, it won't hurt.
It's not gonna be a big deal,
especially if you're going with that tier build.
Yeah.
But one thing I've realized is people in NA, they don't go tier. It's a very EU thing. Even if you watch LCS.
Nice. I see a decent amount of tier Kai'Sa.
No, yeah, maybe.
You mean
but
in
pro
LCS?
Play? Pro
play. And LCS.
The EU players, they go tier.
Yeah.
But the NA players, they don't go tier.
That's because NA is doo-doo right now. I won't even front. Except for
I
Timmy.
don't
know,
think
man.
it's that. But I mean, like one of the best NA talents is Doublelift, and he'll go Stormraiser.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, well, let's stick on the ADC theme and go to Jin. So his base attack damage got increased as well. So 57 to 59, is that good style? I mean, like you said, they're buffing early
2.
game.
Jin +2. Jin can build Essence Reaver. That's basically +7.
Yeah.
It's worth noting that I think this counts more on Jin than other champions because of how his passive works.
Yeah.
I believe it like scales off of how much.
Yeah, and if you build
damage.
4
wow.
IEs, imagine how much AD.
4 IEs. All right, you got to try that. Do some research for the podcast style.
I mean, IE is like 80 AD. 80 times 4 is like 320, and then 379 divided by 4.
Oh gosh.
I think it's 4. I don't know exactly how much it is, but that's like another like 80 bonus AD.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Jin gets the free crit at his first shot, so that's like double.
With IE before you could get to 1000 AD with 4 IEs.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be like at least like around 1100 with Baron.
Somebody has to.
Infernal Drakes.
I might have to.
I'm pretty sure.
I might have to make a video.
I'm pretty sure with 4 IEs, what is it? 4 IEs, a Dustblade, and Swifties would get you like a 1-hit kill with just your crit.
You have to have like a degree in advanced mathematics to calculate how much AD this passive gives you without actually like looking at it. This is like an advanced.
Bust out the calculators. Can somebody out there, please, if you're figuring out this math problem right now?
I don't know how much exactly he gets extra AD. I thought it was like 25%.
So on the thing it says he gets 4 to 44% based on level, plus 4.4% per 1% crit chance, plus 0.25% per 1% bonus attack speed, bonus AD.
Oh, it was a 0.25 for the attack speed. So it would be 44%.
Too much math for me.
44% of like 320. Is it bonus? Bonus AD, I'm assuming.
Bonus
right?
attack damage, yeah.
Yeah, 44% would be like 80 something. That's a lot of AD.
Either way.
Plus 100% off of the, or 40% off of the crit chance too.
Isn't it 0.25 of crit chance?
No, it's 0.4 off crit, 0.25 off attack speed.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
That's insane. But the crit doesn't stack
on
Well, I mean, all I gotta say is if it doesn't make you hurt in League, it'll hurt your brain trying to figure that out. So let us know if somebody actually comes out with a number, I might do a giveaway because that's a lot of intense math. All right, let's move on to Misfortune.
It wouldn't actually be like insane because your crit wouldn't change because your crit is like you only get the crit for 1 IE. You would only get crit for 1 IE. It doesn't stack.
Her early slow went from 28% at level 1 to 40% at level 1.
You know what this changes? You know what MF ebuff changes? Support MF.
Yeah.
Support MF.
Okay, don't give me ideas.
I honestly think it could be back.
Honestly, if you find like a decent Jin player on NA, you should play Misfortune ADC. I mean, Misfortune support. Or an Ashe.
To slow him down. Is that what you're saying?
Ashe, I think Ashe Misfortune is the most broken shit in the game if you can get it,
Arcane Comet,
get it right.
Ooh,
on both.
Arcane Comet, Frost Queen's Claim, Misfortune support. Her E, it not only does it chunk because of how much damage Comet and Frost Queen does, it slows by a ton.
Yeah, a ton. That's pretty interesting.
And then
I have to
you walk in for 1 auto with your Dustblade, and you lost like half their health.
Give me all of the ideas. I like it.
And it's a counter. It's a counter to things like Nami, Zyra, things like that.
You ult them with a Black Cleaver and you shred their armor too. She's basically just like a debuffing support.
I mean, I'm always a fan of like the ADC supports. Like I always used to like try to make Ashe support work, and you know what, Ezreal support. I don't care. Give me this. I'll try it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try this.
To be fair, Ezreal support isn't very bad, except Klepto seems kind of useless.
Yeah, Klepto's useless, but anyways. All right, let's move on to Xayah. Xayah's base armor decrease, R cooldown increase. So base stats, her armor went down from 28 to 25, and her R Featherstorm cooldown was 140, scaling down to 110. Now it's 160, scaling down to 130, so the cooldown has been increased. So I guess we're seeing a lot of Xayah in pro play, so of course they got to nerf it. What do you guys think? Good. Still going to be played?
I honestly think that Kai'Sa was stronger than Xayah, so I don't know why they're nerfing Xayah harder than Kai'Sa.
It depends. If you get both Xayah and Rakan, then it's stronger than Kai'Sa. Yeah. But if you only get one, then I would say Kai'Sa strong.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To be fair, it's like a skill matchup. It's like a real, like, Xayah can win, Kai'Sa can win. Like, if you watch, like, LEC, it's like 100% big ban, both Xayah and Kai'Sa. I think in the G2 games, we saw, like, 5 games of Xayah versus Kai'Sa each time.
Yeah.
And the only counter to, like, you picking one is picking Ezreal or some shit like that.
It definitely seems like they've been trying to target a lot of the LCS or pro play in general. I mean, looking at some of the changes they made with Aatrox.
I think the buffs just like opened up the ADCs you can play. I think that's another reason why they didn't touch Jinx. Because people have been picking Jinx in pro play.
That's true. Yeah, because she doesn't really have any escapes. That's why. Like, it's too easy for pros to capitalize on. But I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you have seen a few, right? Thing played a game. Sneaky played a game. Crownshot from LEC played a game. And Wild Turtle played a game in what is it? Gauntlet.
Yeah, true.
Kog'Maw got picked too.
Oh, that's right. That's the game. That's the game TSM lost. Wasn't that game 5?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cody's son game 5. Kog'Maw got picked for the first
Cody's
time.
son is insane, though.
Cody's son is insane. And, you know, not to go too much off on a tangent, but did you guys see Cody's son, Sneaky, and Double Lift are the same 3 ADCs from NA that have gone to Worlds like the past 3 years? Like, what the heck, man? Like, I'm so mad at TSM right now, but that's a grievance for another time.
I mean, I'm not mad at TSM because if you have no expectations, or do you really have anything to be mad about?
I actually didn't have expectations. So the fact that they went up 2-0, they got reverse swept,
I had expectations when they went into, playoffs. But then after they lost that, I had no expectations.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of on the same boat. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Echo. W cost decreased, stun duration increased. I like this. This
is like the 8th consecutive Echo buff.
They are really trying to make this champ come into play. Yeah.
I remember, I think one of the first podcasts I was on, it was either Kevin or somebody else, and it was the first Echo buff that came out. And he's like, I think Echo is good already. And fast forward to now, we're like 6 patches or 7 patches later. There have been like 4 Echo buffs in those patches. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it is pretty crazy. I mean, like you said, they've been gradually buffing them up, and so we'll have to see when this all comes to a head and everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's OP. But let me read out the line. So W parallel convergence, the cost was 50, scaling to 70 mana. Now it's 30, scaling to 50. The stun duration was 1.75. Now it's 2.25. That's pretty long. I mean, it's tough to hit, you know, if you're suck at Echo like me, but I mean, if you hit, I mean, my goodness, that's pretty impressive.
This is a nice buff to jungle Echo.
No, makes this clear. Don't do this.
And also, it's a buff to any team with really hard CC because it's very easy to chain CC with Echo. It's not easy to start CC with Echo.
Yeah.
So you want to put this on top of like a Morgana Q or like a Nico E or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just trying to engage with it. So this is, I don't know, this is crazy. I think Echo is probably getting to the spot where he might be really, really, really good, but we just haven't seen him show up yet. One day we'll see him, and it might be at Worlds.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's always viable in pro play because he can do a lot of things, and with these buffs, I wouldn't be surprising to me if we see Echo somewhere in Worlds group stages or something. Because go ahead.
His mana costs were so low already. Nerfing them even more. Wow.
Yeah. I definitely think I'll make a prediction and say we see him in Worlds. I think there's just been too many good patches for him. I don't think we'll see him in jungle. Maybe in solo queue you'll see him in jungle, but
I don't think that's much of a prediction. Things already been played. Echo's already been played in
A lot?
professional. Yeah, in Korea.
Oh, I haven't been paying attention.
Who watches
to them.
Korea?
Who watches Korea? I'm just kidding. That's like the
I
best,
saw it
one of
on
the best
Reddit,
regions.
to be fair. I didn't watch the game.
Oh, okay.
Faker played it.
Well, yeah. Anybody Faker
Yeah.
plays is gonna be good, anyways. But yeah, I can only imagine with a champ that's being buffed as well. All right, so
I think
we'll
if
look
we
out for
do
that.
see it, it will be an Asian team. I'm not going to say Korea. I'm going to say either Korea or China.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it with their awesome mechanics too. All right, let's go to Evelyn. So they want to buff her a little bit. I guess she's been, she was strong. They hit her with some nerfs. Now they're trying to bring her back up again. So her ultimate, Last Caress, the empowered damage amplifier was 100% against enemies below 30% of their max health. Now it's 140% against enemies below 30% of their max health. And the empowered damage was 250 scaling to 750 plus 1.5 ability power. Now it's 300 scaling to 900 plus 1.8 ability power. That's quite a bit of damage. I don't know what it was pre-nerf. I don't know if you guys know that, but that seems like a pretty good buff to me.
You know what makes this buff so funny?
Why?
This is the exact opposite of what they just did to Evelyn in TFT.
Yeah, you're right.
It is literally the exact opposite.
You are absolutely right. They probably were just exchanging ideas across the hall. You know?
They're just like,
Like Summoner's Rift
Wow.
and Eve. What are you guys thinking? TFT Eve.
Why would you buff Eve?
I don't know.
Only thing
I think this is really good.
No, I don't.
The weird thing about this is that 90% of the time when they were below that 30% max health threshold, your ult would kill them, but it wouldn't kill very tanky people. Like it wouldn't kill like a Sejuani or like a Garen or something. Now I think it always kills. I don't think there's ever a situation where Evelyn ult does not kill somebody below 30% HP.
That's gonna be nuts. I might have to bust out my Evelyn
Right?
jungle
It's gotta
again.
be.
Because that's really, really good. I mean, because as an assassin, you shouldn't be going for the tank anyways. Like, you should be punished if you try to take out that, tank up there, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems very counterintuitive. But, I mean, I don't know. Again, like I said, I've been out of the jungle for a while, and I haven't played Eve in a bit, so maybe it's warranted. It just seems like it's pretty strong to me, and I think we'll see a resurgence in Evelyn jungle in solo queue. I've been already seeing it anyways, but this just makes her really good and going to be annoying to play against. So we'll see. All right, let's go to Kale, your favorite champ style. One of your favorite champs, Kale. E base damage, E base passive damage has been increased. I already thought Kale was pretty strong, but again, E Starfire Spellblade, the base passive damage was 10, scaling to 30. Now it's 15, scaling to 35. So increase of 5 passive base damage. You guys, I mean,
so that's 5. That's 5 damage per auto. So that's a pretty big buff.
That's good.
More if you have Rage Blade.
And I feel like Kale's been pretty good already. I mean, I don't see a ton of Kale, but when I do see her, I feel like she's been doing all right. I don't know. Do you guys got thoughts on that?
She's still very, very weak early, but
for sure.
She definitely still has that powerful late game. I think they made her a lot easier to get to the late game now, so I don't know. I feel like she's just way too risky to play like consistently in terms of like, because if you get matched against Aatrox or maybe something more aggressive now, you just have no way to do anything. There's no way to win lane. But
well, now that Aatrox is nerfed, maybe now that Aatrox is nerfed. I don't know. All right, let's go to Lee Sin. Base health and attack damage increase. Our damage increased.
Yay.
All right. What? They're buffing him. Okay, so health. I just hate seeing Lee Sin players. That's all I got to say, because I played against one earlier, and he absolutely stomped their team. I don't know if he was smurfing, but there's no way he was in gold, because this guy was just like, he was like 15-0. Okay, so base stats. Health has gone from 570.8 to 575. Attack damage has gone from 69.2 to 70, so not too much. Our Dragon's Rage damage has gone from 150 scaling to 600. Now it's 175 scaling to 625. So just a little bit of tweaks there. I don't think it's like super game changing. I mean, there is more damage on the ultimate, but what do you guys think? You got any thoughts on that? On Lee Sin getting some damage buffs?
I feel like I'm the only person in League of Legends who thinks Lee Sin is garbage.
I think he's garbage in our elo. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Whenever I play
that's
against
what I'm
them, I always
saying.
just
Like,
trash him.
that's what I'm saying. This guy had to be Smurf. The stuff he was pulling off. I was like, there's no way this guy is in gold because he was just absolutely stomping. And everybody in our game was like even the team that was winning was just like, yeah, I don't know. We're just getting carried by Lee. Like nobody could even say anything. He was just really good. But I don't think it's too big of a buff. But I mean, I guess it's fine. You know, if you like Lee Sin, play him. I think you do have to be good though to make, full use of how good he is. So
Yeah.
Style, you got any thoughts on Lee? You gonna bust him
No,
out?
I think he's just good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bust him out because I'm not gonna play jungle.
I'm not gonna.
I might play
him
him
either.
ADC.
It's too hard. Hey, you know what? Now that he's got that extra tiny bit of AD, you
Support
can go
Lee
for it.
Sin.
I wouldn't doubt you pulling off the support contest we got. You pulling out a Lee Sin support wouldn't surprise me one bit. Okay, let's move on to Nunu and Willump. So base stats decrease, E slow now scales. All right, I like Nunu, but I guess I don't think he was OP. But his health growth wasn't. You think he was OP? I mean, it's been a while.
He was freaking busted, honestly.
Yeah,
he had like a 54% win rate or something. It was like the highest win rate in the game.
So I guess these nerfs are
in the game for like 6
I guess
matches.
these nerfs are warranted then. So his base stats, health growth was 90, now it's down to 82. Armor growth was 3.5 down to 3. Mana was 283.56 down to 280. Mana regen was 7.44 down to 7. And E snowball barrage, the slow used to just be 50% at all ranks. Now it starts at 30 and scales up to 50%. So it's not going to be that flat 50% even early on. He is an amazing early ganker. I will say that the few times that I used to play Nunu, he's one of those junglers. If I'm stuck with jungle, I'll play Nunu because it's like, not much to him. But apparently you guys
felt
think
a lot
that
like
he needed
Sejuani, where he was just very
I can see that.
reliable and very easy to play. I don't. The problem, I think, the reason why nobody really was super annoyed against Nunu is because he didn't really feel like, he never really felt like that much of a threat, like somebody like Jax or somebody like Rek'Sai or Hecarim or something like that. But he was always just really, really easy to play, really, really good, really, really consistent, tanky as all get out, and good as really good at objective control because of his Q.
His Q.
So
that's why I
just
play him.
all around very
objective control. I wonder why we don't see him more in pro play. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Because he does provide. I mean, obviously Sejuani provides a lot of really good, utility.
Yeah.
But I
Too
don't
easy
think
to kite, I think.
probably. Yeah, I guess that's probably why.
Maybe they just don't want to drive around a snowball.
Hey man, that's the best part. You know what I'm saying?
Not
the
a
best
pro
part.
player. I feel like things can go wrong.
Nunu also suffers from good warding, like people who ward well.
That's true.
His
Because
clear isn't the greatest.
What's
that? His clear isn't.
Clear isn't the greatest. Like
I mean,
his
it's better.
It's
okay. It's better than Sejuani's early clear. I mean, at least early game. So I mean,
but
Sejuani,
you can just like literally just walk in and do whatever you want and win the game.
Yeah, and I guess with Sejuani's Q,
land your snowballs and stuff, and your ult will get stopped like so many times because they.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen a lot of Sejuani players miss their W's, miss their ults.
No, I'm talking about Nunu.
Oh, you're talking about Nunu. Okay.
You can mess up your snowballs so easily, and the thing is, your ult can get stopped. And I think Nunu's damage isn't as insane as Sejuani's is.
Yeah.
Like he offers a lot of CC.
I guess too, with what Nighthawk was saying with the warding, like with Sejuani's Q, you can get over walls and stuff and kind of maybe sneak around different warding spots. But with Nunu, you kind of just got to start your snowball far away and hopefully, it's enough movement speed to get in there before they can react. So I can see that. Just wanted to throw that out there because I do think Nunu's a great epitome of like the jungle role. Tanky, got CC, good objective control, all the things that I think make good junglers. So, all right, let's move on. Let's go to Teemo, everybody's favorite little devil. Q and W quality of life changes are mushroom adjustments with more charges and infinite bounces. Nighthawk, do you want to take this one? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, the Q, I actually really like this Q change. What it does is when you're affected by the Q, you'll now see like a green halo around your screen, sort of similar to other effects. This makes it a lot easier to tell when you're actually still blinded.
Oh my word! Yes.
Which means that you might not waste certain auto attacking abilities like a Jax W or something like that against Teemo. Which is really nice because Teemo Q was super annoying to play against as a top laner. It's still gonna be really annoying, but at least now you'll know when. You
at least now you'll know.
Damage him.
Now it'll be more annoying because your screen's going crazy. Just kidding.
His W now has a little bar above it to show how long it lasts, so that's nice if you're playing Teemo. I guess. And
I don't know why they need to show. I don't know why they need to show blinded targets. My teammates are always blind anyway.
That's funny.
And then this last change is really big. The mushrooms now trigger more responsively, which means I think that means they trigger faster, which is a pretty big deal in terms of if you're throwing them on them. Rift Scuttler now no longer triggers mushrooms when it's not in combat, which means you can actually shroom up the river very well without having to worry about Scuttler IEDing them. And then mushrooms now bounce off of one another infinitely. So you can just, if you were to sit in base for long enough, you could get mushrooms to top lane or mid lane just by bouncing off one another.
That's pretty funny.
And then here, this is the biggest change. You now can hold up to 5 mushrooms.
That's gonna be freaking annoying. Holy shnikes.
Yeah. That is going to be really powerful. I think this might actually bring back 40% CDR Teemo. It wasn't bad, but I think that you want to get 40% CDR every game now.
Does that mean you can put down five mushrooms, or you can put down as many, right? I don't know. Is there a limit?
You can put down as many mushrooms as you want. They last 10 minutes, I believe.
Okay.
And
wow.
The charges, it's like a 30-second charge, but it goes down to, actually, let me look this up. I think it goes down to like.
Why did I have a 0-5 Teemo in my game then?
Well, Teemo, I think, is so worthless late game that he's basically just a shroom bot and like a Q bot. That's really all he's good for. Yeah, the cooldown goes down to 20 seconds late game, and then on top of that, with 40% CDR, that's another 8 seconds, I think.
Wow.
Did someone say support Teemo?
Charge.
Hey, I've seen
you'll have so many shrooms, and the shrooms do so much damage.
That's interesting. Yeah, I might have to try that out in support lane. All right. Play with that. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I'm gonna make him play with me, and I'm gonna do that to him. Okay, so that's the little devil. Let's move on to the big wolf, Warwick. So W now properly grants bonus attack speed against blood-hunted enemies. I guess it's noting a bug fix in this section. It's not bug fixes. Okay, so W blood hunt. The bug fix is what I just said. Now properly gains bonus attack speed against all blood-hunted enemies. I guess he wasn't. That's annoying if you're a Warwick player. Oh my gosh.
This is one of the most annoying Warwick bugs. Yeah. It is not the most annoying Warwick bug, unfortunately.
I know he has a lot.
They still have not fixed. He is still very, very. I don't even know if they're bugs. They're just clunky things. His W blood trail. Sometimes he doesn't get move speed when he's chasing it. And then sometimes his Q just doesn't work well. But this is a nice change. They said they put it in here because it is a big buff. It is a pretty big buff, especially for the W Max Warwick mains.
Yeah, definitely.
So hopefully he's not going to be busted after this.
Yeah, that's
exactly. They can finally fix.
I hope
they can finally fix the other change soon.
Yeah, no, I know there's a bug because I was playing Warwick again in the jungle, and I knew there were a lot of bugs with them, but. This is so essential to him because a lot of the times that I did play, I would max W because of that movement speed buff that you get. But if it's not working properly, then kind of defeats the whole purpose. So hopefully they get, now that it's fixed, that's good. And hopefully they can get to the other bugs so that us Warwick lovers can get back to hunting people. Okay, let's go to the last champion, Zoe. The passive damage has been increased. I haven't seen a lot of Zoe lately, so passive, more sparkles. The damage was 10, scaling up to 124, now it's 16, scaling up to 130. Anybody, I gotta admit, I don't even know what her passive does. So somebody's gonna have to explain this to me.
Every time you cast a summoner spell, every time you cast a summoner spell, you gain like bonus damage for your next 3 autos.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. So now it's just going to be
damage,
stronger.
Yeah, 6
it's a Riot marketing strategy for Star Guardian Zoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's just one. It's just one auto after.
Oh,
Yeah,
one.
but
Okay.
After an
if you put her,
ability. Oh,
if
it's
you
after
put
an
her in,
ability.
if you put her in patch
Ooh.
notes, people recognize the champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the summoner spell thing was on her W.
Oh, okay.
This one is just after any ability, your next basic attack deals bonus damage.
It's
So,
like
yeah,
the
you're right.
it's like a Lich Bane effect, right?
Yeah, it's basically like a
Oh,
mini
okay.
Lich Bane.
Well, that seems pretty cool. I would not like to see more Zoes though, because I'm so glad that that champ is not being played as much. Because wow, is she annoying? Well, that's all the. What's that?
I played against a Zoe today. Well, I didn't like. I wasn't in lane against her, but there was one in my game.
Did you notice anything? Not really.
Not really.
Did
To
y'all
be fair,
win?
I didn't read patch notes till after my game. Like right before.
You're the guy.
this,
At least you
podcast.
didn't. Did you play any of the champs affected though? Because like I said, I've had Akalis and Aatroxes in my games where they're like, "Huh, what happened?"
No, I was playing support, so I don't think it mattered too much.
Okay, it
I
doesn't
played
matter.
like a game of Rakan.
No, it doesn't matter. You're right. Okay, and then they just added. So that's all the champion changes. They added some video accessibility options, which blah blah blah. Any? You guys want to note any of that stuff? I mean, I don't know. It seems
No, but
meaningless to me.
if we're talking
It
about
allows you to
anything,
customize your
it's
view a little bit.
who do you guys think will be the victorious champ?
It's Rise, isn't
It
it?
has to be that's championship.
Oh, it's championship. Oh, yeah, you're right.
It has to be a champ that's popular in solo queue and LCS, but was popular
Akali?
around spring, and most likely in ADC or support because the last 3 seasons have been the other lanes.
I mean, I feel like it should be Kaisa, but Kaisa's gotten so many skins recently.
Yeah.
They can't have gotten a skin in the last year as well.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Well, then who does that leave?
I narrowed it down to like Tristana.
Okay, I can see that.
Maybe.
Caitlyn.
I don't think Tristana was that popular.
I was gonna say Ezreal, but Ezreal gets like a billion skins.
Ezreal got a skin. He got Battle
Ezreal got a
Academia.
skin.
But that's
Maybe
the
a
thing,
support
like,
then. Maybe Alistar.
Oh
Alistar has
yeah,
been
Alex
pretty
should have
popular.
fun. Oh no, Conqueror skins, so you can't get one either.
oh gosh, yeah. Like who's left? It's almost like process of elimination now.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Detectives must figure this out.
I guess we'll find out.
Let us know. Email.
I'm
us,
surprised
tweet us.
it's championship prize. Honestly, I thought it would be Silas.
I feel like
Yeah.
Rise already had a championship skin.
Yeah,
No,
me
it's
too.
Trophy
He's
Rise.
got
isn't it?
Victorious and he's got like
He doesn't have Victorious.
or Triumphant, sorry.
Oh,
Very
Triumphant
similar.
Rise. Yeah, very
He's
similar.
got Triumphant Rise and he's got
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. You can't get a Victorious skin with honor level 0.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta up that. I'm on a level 5, by the way. Thank you very much, Mr. Nice Guy over
Have you
here.
got your tokens?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
I got the Grey Warwick skin and the
Oh,
the
yeah, I
Twitch
did,
skin.
No. You should get a token. You should get a bunch of honor 5 tokens now.
Oh, do you? Okay, I gotta check.
And then
I
you
don't
can
know.
buy, I think, some sort of skin. I think it's
Yeah,
Twitch.
you buy the Warwick and the Twitch skin.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what you buy
yeah.
with
Is it?
them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
is.
check.
It
because
is.
Why would I bother if I'm not
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
them?
Style is so far from that. He doesn't even really know. But
I mean, at this point, all I want is my level 2 honor so I can get my
All
Victorious
right, all
skin.
right, all right.
there you go.
Before we end, I just
Uh-huh.
want to say about the bug fixes. The only major bug fixes here
Okay.
are Jinx's E now prevents Akali from moving through them when she uses her ult. So you can
Ooh.
actually stop Akali from getting on you with Jinx, which is
That's
nice.
nice.
And then
Yep.
Alawi can no longer dash when rooted using her W. So that's also really nice.
Oh, okay.
And everything else is kind of just
That's pretty cool.
I just want Jinx to get nerfed, honestly.
yeah.
I
Bard
don't-
Meep attacks now properly cancels or breaks shell shields. That's pretty good too.
Ah, that is pretty good.
I just
Not
don't
bad.
want Jinx to be 100% pick banned.
You think she
I'm
will
sick of
be?
Jinx.
Are you talking
so
about?
sick
Yeah,
of
until she gets a nerf.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
I'm
see.
talking about in solo queue, not
Okay.
LCS.
Yeah, because I was gonna say. Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know what. Yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother discussion with.
Yeah, no, I was
Jinx.
watching your stream and you're actually getting demolished by Jinx like every game.
She's so
Yeah.
strong.
She's so dumb. Anyways, yeah, I got demoted. By the way, sucks.
Oh,
I
the
hate this.
The new collection page is out.
Is it
Yeah,
collection?
the new
and-
collections.
Oh, nice.
Isn't there like a new interface?
Yeah.
think
I
For,
don't
so.
like it as much as the old one, but I guess it's pretty cool.
I mean, on a side note, Netflix also has a new interface.
Okay, I think we're getting so much off topic that
I think we got it. Good job, guys. You guys did it. Patch 9.18. You guys hung in there. I appreciate my co-hosts again, Nighthawk and Style on 123 for sharing. They're amazing and unlimited wisdom in this game. Y'all are awesome. But until next time, guys, enjoy your climb on the rift. Try not to be too toxic, and we will see you all on the next episode. Peace.